Hey, this is library.
I'm not going to talk about sexual politics. It's not my primary concern. What I'm going to talk about is freedom of speech, and I want to tell you a few things about freedom of speech, okay? Because I've been thinking about this very carefully. I've been thinking about this very carefully over the last 2 weeks. And it's partly because of the videos that I've made.
I thought you don't like cops, though.
But also because...
Men need to stop this nonsense. He's brilliant. For real. He's brilliant.
Hey, let's try this again. Right. So there's a reason I'm defending freedom of speech. And the reason for that is quite straightforward. The reason I'm defending freedom of speech is because that's how people with different opinions settle their opinions in a civil society. And if we lose that, here's what I recommend. You all have consciences. You all have the ability to articulate.
Now, before we go any further, decency, 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 decency. Sorry. Okay, if you guys are all going to come up here, can we at least have circle time or something? So, are you guys having a tough time seeing?
Safety!
Safety!
Safety! Safety! Safety! Safety! Safety! Safety! Safety!
Sorry, I just have one question. Do you know me? Do I know you? Like, how do you know anything about me? Why am I a white supremacist? Because you guys are here shouting down people who are speaking. Really? Okay, last time. How what starts? How what starts? What are we even talking about? What is it? And why, if you have a question, why don't you just ask it? I'm happy to talk with you, but this is nonsensical. This doesn't help. What was that? Well, then tell your people to sit down. We're having a question-answer period. Well, then who are they? If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But this is not productive.
You are not looking out for them. Their safety is not your concern. Safety! 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 Safety!
Campus. A polarizing pundit just a couple hours away from taking the stage, but protesters are vowing to shut down the show. Good evening, I'm Veronica Dela Cruz.
I'm Alan Martin. A live look from Chopper 5 for you. Extra security on hand at UC Berkeley tonight ahead of an appearance by ultra-conservative columnist Milo Yiannopoulos. The crowd has grown larger just within the past 30 minutes. Now we see campus police taking up positions there, protesters trying to tear down the barricades. KPI X-Files Phil Mateer on campus. Phil, we saw what happened a few weeks back at UC Davis. The rowdy protest there seems like could be similar thing tonight.
That's right, Alan, and take a look at it live. We're here at Sproul Plaza. Take a look at this live. They've pulled back, torn down the barricades, and now they're shooting off firefighters into the theater where the Yiannopoulos is scheduled to speak. BlackRock showed up just a little while ago. I think you can see him in the background. We've got the police behind one set of barricades. You can take a look at the crowd. You see the ones with the face coverings and the sticks in the foreground. Behind them are the other demonstrators. The BlackRock people moved in just a couple of seconds ago, and we're trying to tear down the barriers, as you can see over there. And the question is, are they going to go for there we go. So we've got a pretty tense situation working here. The cops are remaining calm. The protests are clearly trying to clear the way, possibly to move in on the building itself, creating an unsafe situation to cancel the event. So, well, as safe as you ever feel in one of these situations. I mean, we're here, we're on the ground, we're right next to the demonstrators. There it goes, one of the barriers going up. All right.
And that went into the...
So they're moving on a direct attacks onto the building.
Right,
They're
that
using
went
the
into the doors.
barricades to take on the building. Yeah, that went into the road. Here goes another one.
And still, police have not moved out of that position from the left of the building?
No one's making a move, no. No.
Can you tell us
As a matter
more
of fact, they've
about...
gone inside. Some of them have gone inside the building now.
Can you tell us more about these protesters? You had mentioned the various groups that are there. You had mentioned the BlackRock groups.
It's a mix. It's a mix of It's a mix of students. There's students. There are protesters that we've seen at other protests, like at Occupy, and the BlackRock group, which is the more militant of the groups and the more aggressive that we're seeing right now. They're the ones who, for a long time, they come in with their faces covered. They're ready for action. They carry sticks, sometimes with banners. The banners come down. The sticks come out. They tear down the barriers, and now they're it's hard to, now they're moving and running up against and throwing things into, trying to break into the place.
Well,
and now there goes the floodlights. They're knocking over the floodlights. They're trying to tear those down as well, trying to pull them over.
Well, and at some point,
as
I
you
mean,
can
the
see,
public
the protest
safety.
right up here is cutting the restraints on these.
Right, and at some point, police are going to have to decide if public
right.
safety.
Here goes another one. The barricades are now being used as weapons. Alan, the barricades, you can see, now they're using them as battering rams and setting off fireworks and battering rams as they're trying to go right into the building itself.
A UC Davis speech shut down tonight after protesters converge on campus. Those protesters blocked the entrance to a lecture hall where a pair of controversial political speakers were scheduled to talk. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christina Janes.
I'm Sam Shane. The protesters were successful in their efforts to muzzle the voices and free speech of two high-profile conservatives. CBS 13's Steve Large joins us now from UC Davis. Steve?
Well, this is where this protest played out right here. The only signs of it now, these political signs left in the trash can. This is a highly organized protest predicted by administrators here. It started out peaceful, then turned physical. The barricades did not work. Protesters broke through the fences, pushed back security, and surrounded the UC Davis lecture hall where controversial conservative personalities Milo Yiannopoulos and Martin Shkreli were prepared to speak. One person who was able to get inside the building was quickly arrested. Outside, protesters and supporters of the event came face to face, tensions rising. Police officers lined the doors outside the lecture hall to prevent most of the protesters from getting any closer to the building. Some, able to get by, formed a human chain in front of an entrance.
We're all happy. We got these fascists out of here. We shut down the event. It was great. Mission accomplished.
I don't support everything he believes in, but I came here to gain new perspectives, and it's kind of sad that it got shut down because people believed that they could stop us from sitting at an event and listening to someone speak.
The Davis College Republicans who scheduled the event made the call to cancel it because of the protest. After, Shkreli came outside where protesters zeroed in on him.
CBS 13, what do you want to say about what's happening here?
It's disgusting. I mean, just, you know, progressivism is about having a conversation.
The group certainly knows I'm coming. I RSVP'd with as somebody listening in the audience. I RSVP'd as a speaker, and I RSVP'd as security. So if you have any other standards of RSVP that are necessary, I'm happy to fulfill those.
Give us 1 second.
Sure.
Please.
They'll help you out.
Can I help you out?
Alrighty. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How you doing today?
Yeah, doing okay.
A little chilly, but it's November, right?
Seems like a lot of security for an event with no protesters.
I'm not security.
Let him speak.
Ben, you're the
How
man.
are you, sir?
Sure.
Step over here for a minute.
Oh. How are you?
I'm the head of public safety.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. You know that you weren't registered, whatever, for the group didn't register you for the event. They have strict things, so you're not allowed, you know, into the event.
Well, I mean, YAF did inform you that I was coming as a speaker, as a person sitting in the audience, as well as a member of Christina Hoff Sommers' team. So I'm not sure what other standards are necessary. I'm also wondering exactly why it's so necessary to keep me personally out.
We're just following protocol, sir.
Well, why is there protocol to keep me specifically out?
What country protocol? Soviet Union or United States?
You want to step over here to decide?
Well, I'm happy to do it right here if you'd like. I mean, I don't think this needs to be private.
The bottom line is it's private property, okay? It wasn't proper procedures weren't followed, and you're not going to be allowed to.
So am I to understand that if I take 3 steps forward, you will attempt to have me arrested?
If you create a problem and you will not, you know, leave the campus, yes.
Okay, so just to be clear, if I attempt to enter that hall right there and sit down just to listen to somebody speak, or if I attempt to ask a question or to engage in free speech, you will have me arrested.
At this point, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm glad that we've clarified that situation. I'm also glad that in a city, I mean, we clearly have great security. I'm glad in a city that has some 4,000 shootings to this date, you have 30 members of security just for a 5'9", 165 Jewish guy. I think this is maybe a mild allocation of resources. Well, okay. Well, if that's the way we're going to do this, then we'll just do the event elsewhere, folks. So follow us. Here we go.